Why is flex retirement getting more popular? So, a few reasons. One is financial anxiety. Even high earners with solid savings frequently worry about whether their money will last. A 30-year retirement is a long time to fund, and sequence of returns risk, um, could mean the danger that a market downturn could damage your portfolio. It's not a small concern. Staying in some form of paid work, even part time, takes some pressure off your investment portfolio in the early years of retirement. Also, healthcare costs. That's a really big factor. Medicare doesn't kick in until age 65. So if you retire at 60 or even 62, you're looking at a gap that can cost thousands of dollars per month, depending on your health situation and what coverage you need. If you continue to work, even in a reduced capacity, that can sometimes preserve access to employer sponsored health insurance and bridge that gap more affordably. Also, purpose and identity don't really have an off switch. So, for many professionals and business owners, also, work isn't just a paycheck, it's structure, it's intellectual engagement, it's relationships, it's a sense of contribution. And going from 50-hour a weeks to zero overnight can feel like, falling off a cliff. It's not, it's very jarring. And so, a flex retirement allows people to kind of decompress gradually while holding on to the parts of work they actually value. Also, flexibility is more available than ever. So, remote work, the gig economy, and the growth of consulting and fractional work have really made partial retirement far more practical than it was even 10 years ago. So, a former marketing executive, for example, can now consult for 3 or 4 companies at 15 hours a week from home. And that option didn't really exist a generation ago. So, I mainly also want to kind of stress that you have permission to do this differently. Here's something I want to say out loud. You don't have to choose between full time work and full retirement. Those aren't the only two options on the table. The hard stop model is so deeply embedded in our cultural understanding of work and retirement that many people never question it. They assume that if we haven't saved enough to retire completely, they failed, or they assume that continuing to work in any capacity past a certain age means they're behind. And neither of those things are really true. Flex retirement is a legitimate, increasingly popular, and often financially superior path to take.